I didn't see you there.
Obviously you didn't. You were starting to say something about making it easier for Clint and me to be together?
Well, what I meant by that is, we have to find a way for you to stay close because of the drama of Kevin. That broke the ice.
Uh-huh. And you're going to manage to do that all by yourself somehow?
Well, seeing you two together so much, maybe nature's going to do the job for me.
Pa, please.
Wait a minute. I got eyes, haven't I? I can see two people who have weathered a storm and now found each other again.
No, Asa, you're half right. Yes, Clint and I have weathered one storm, but as for finding each other, that's a long way off, if ever.
What is that in your hand, huh? Family album? You two have been reminiscing about old times now, am I right?
Well, yeah, we were, but...
No, Clint has been helping me make sense of the last 8 years for the children's sake.
Well, that's a start, all right? And maybe if some of these years make sense, you'll be doing it for each other, too.
Pa, I know you're trying to help.
Help? Hellfire, I can. I can tell you more than any photo album, Vicky. Young lady, you were the happiest wife and mother I ever saw. And this man right here, he did more than honor and love like the vows say to do. Yes, ma'am, he stuck by you through thick and thin. And make no mistake, Vicky, it got pretty damn thick.
Oh, Pa, doggone it.
Clint, I'm just telling it as it is.
No, Asa. You are telling it as it was. Excuse me, I have an appointment. I have to get dressed.
Vicky, he didn't mean to... Well, what I mean is that...
It's all right. Thank you for showing me the pictures.
Yeah, this appointment, is that to see your attorney?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to cancel the custody hearing? I'm happy.
I think we made some progress, son. Oh, cheer up. Close the door. Close the door. Now we get back to what I was trying to say. You and Vicky are going to get back together. And you know what that means? Tom Dennison says adios to Landview.
I'm sorry, honey. My mind's made up. Besides, you'll meet all sorts of nice fellows in El Paso, or wherever we decide to settle.
Daddy, Rick is a lot more than nice. I say when you find something you like, go for it.
That's your philosophy, is it?
I'll get it.
Wait, no, allow me. Huh? If it happens to be your friend, it might be a little better not to look so anxious, okay? Hello. Oh, hello, Paxton. What? No, of course, I'm still interested. I'm just surprised that you made it clear yesterday that the job was taken. Yes, I know things do happen like that, but... Well, look, Paxton, I'd like a little time to think about this, if that's all right with you. I can get back to you before the day's out. All right, thank you. I will.
So you're a boss in El Paso? I thought you talked to him yesterday.
I did, and he said that Owens was doing a wonderful job. Now, all of a sudden, it seems Owens has resigned, and the job is mine for the asking. I had a feeling there's something more than newspaper business going on here.
Max!
Maria,
Hi, why don't you join me?
I have to warn you, I may give you another sales pitch for that deal in South America.
All right, but first tell me how your evening was last night.
My evening?
Oh, Max, now don't be coy. I was sitting right over there when you brought Tina home last night. I saw you escort her to the elevator, and I suppose up to her room.
Now, before you go jump into any conclusions, I like to make it clear that it was perfectly harmless, sorry to say. Yeah, she's only thinking about your son. Seems nobody else stands a chance.
Oh, my, even to somebody as charming as you?
Imagine that.
Oh, but Tina has her moods, Max. One day she gives her heart to one man, and the next day to somebody else, and... Well, things may not be as hopeless as you think.
But what we can't figure out is how, if he did leave, how he got through the security people at the airport. They had special instructions, Judith, to double-check every single passport.
Charles, did you give him those instructions?
Yes, I did. And before you accuse me of being the world's worst father, Judith, remember, it was Jamie. It was our son who threw you into that freezer and left you to die.
Jamie's very disturbed.
Yes.
And I didn't realize how sick he is. He needs help, not prison.
How many chances are you willing to give him? Judith, you've got to face it. The boy is worthless.
I can't accept it.
But darling, you have to. You should be grateful that you're alive in spite of Jamie. Look, what we have to do, somehow, we've got to go on with our lives. We can't look back. And somehow, we've got to try to forget that we ever had a son.
Don't talk about him like he's dead.
I know, but to me, he is.
He's not. He's alive.
I would be much more willing to accept that fact if he were in prison. And that's where he would be if we had stuck to the plan.
Something happened to change the plan.
What happened? Judith, all you had to do was sit in the house, call me at the police station the minute he walked in the door.
I would have done that. It's just that Jamie saw Herb and me together, and...
Well, so what? I mean, did that prevent you from calling?
No, but he misinterpreted what he saw, and it was too late. I didn't get a chance to call you, and I couldn't explain it to him.
There she was crying with me consoling her as best I could, and when you know it, that's when Jamie showed up.
And exactly in what manner were you consoling her? Mom? It's just a simple question, darling.
I had my arms around her, dear. You know, consoling, of course, Jamie misinterpreted.
Oh, of course.
Ah. His smirk was even worse than your mother's, if you can imagine that. Well, Judith was so flustered, she lost her cool.
And that's when Jamie caught on that something was
Yeah,
up.
she didn't even have time to call the police before he pulled the gun.
Oedipus Rex, eat your heart out.
This is not your normal Oedipal complex. This is a very seriously disturbed young man.
Be that as it may, I wouldn't have liked seeing you and Judith locked in a tender embrace. I think she's a little jealous, Dad. Don't be ridiculous, honey. It just seems to me that she has a husband to give her all the comfort she needs.
Yeah, some comfort he is. You'll notice that Charles was safely back at police headquarters while Judith had to face Jamie alone.
She was hardly alone, was she?
Mom, if Dad hadn't been there with Judith, she would have been frozen stiff.
That's true. Would you like to tell us how you prevented Judith from becoming a frozen fish stick? Did you make like the Eskimos and rub noses?
Oh, well, you know how it is, sweetheart. When you're stuck in an igloo, you have to make do.
I remember what it was like being stuck with you.
Oh, of course, the elevator in the courthouse.
I'm glad you haven't forgotten.
How could I? It was stuck for hours.
I didn't complain.
Neither did I.
Would somebody like to tell me what's going on?
Maybe when you're older.
We still won't tell you.
Kathy, would you mind?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, that's all right.
What are you doing with that suitcase? You going somewhere?
Yeah, I'm moving out.
She calls herself a one-man woman.
Maybe one man at a time. Cord is onto her ways, though. Tina has no chance of getting him back.
This makes you happy?
Oh, no, on the contrary. I don't like seeing Tina miserable. But what she needs is another man. The right man, of course. Someone like you, Max.
I'll take that as a compliment, whether you meant it as one or not.
Oh, I certainly did. You know, Tina is a tough filly to break. But if anybody can do it, I know you can.
Trouble is, I'm what you might call broke myself. From what I see of Tina, she's not about to take a bit or a bridle that are anything less than sterling silver.
No, you're absolutely right. The lady does have very expensive
And
taste.
I have my own dreams, remember? Even if I had the money, I'd want to invest in that ranch in Argentina, not in furs and jewels for Tina.
It's a shame you can't do both, your dreams and Tina.
That's like my old man used to say, life's unfair, then you die. Of course, if I did have the right sort of capital behind me, I could buy that ranch. Then I could court Tina royally once it's a success.
Yes, I suppose you could.
Is there a glimmer of interest I detect?
What do you mean?
Oh, come on, Maria. Every time Tina's name comes up, you act like a trainer that's got a one-legged horse she'd like to unload.
Yes, well, it is no secret. I certainly would sleep a whole lot better if I knew that Tina was out of Cord's life.
How much is your sleep worth to you? Enough to stake me?
I've been thinking about your proposal, Max. And it looks doubtful. You and Tina are both hustlers, but you're decent and she's not.
Why don't you let me be the judge of that?
You know, I recall my son saying those very words while Tina was behind his back, lying and scheming.
Listen, you aren't telling me anything I haven't heard already. Tina came right out and confessed to me what a witch she's been.
Yeah, believe me, if she said that, it's only because she's up to something.
Maria, I don't know about Cord, but I can take care of myself. And as far as despising Tina for her, well, spirit of adventure, I admire her for it.
Uh-oh. Oh, Max, maybe you and Tina do deserve each other.
I won't hear of it. Dorian, come on, I've made up my mind. Now that Cassie's home, you want your family around you, and I'll just be in the way.
You're not in the way, is she, Herb?
Well, don't drag me into it. I'm more out of place here than anyone.
We are all family, if I say we are.
Look, I'm going to leave as soon as Dorian stops doctoring me, so don't go on my account, all right?
Well, thanks, Herb. But I think Cassie will agree with me.
Cassie, say something.
No, now, Dorian, don't. Look, you guys have been so great to let me stay here this long, and I'll always be grateful. You've been like the mother I never had. Cassie, when I finish packing, would you mind driving me over to the waterside?
Yeah, whenever you're ready.
Thanks. I hope we can be friends, too.
Why didn't you say something? You could have stopped her.
Oh, I don't know if I wanted to. You know, I have my doubts about Diana. Something about her that doesn't ring true.
Thank you. I was beginning to think that I was the only one. Both of you are wrong.
Well, good. And maybe you won't mind if I get dressed and get out of here, okay?
I do mind. You're not strong enough yet.
Sweetheart, you were the greatest doctor that ever lived. I'm very grateful, honest, but if you want to take care of something, why don't you buy a Persian cat, all right? I have to go to the hospital and check on Judith.
I think I've been here long enough. I'm going to let you get some rest.
Oh, Charles, don't you want me to explain?
What, Herb? No, there's no need to do that. I'm glad you were together.
You are?
Well, yes. Darling, if he hadn't been there, you'd have probably died in that freezer.
It's true. I guess I do owe him my life.
So, let's just try to forget what happened.
Easier said than done, don't you think?
Yes, that's true. We still have to try. All right, I'm going to be on my way. As soon as the doctor gives me the okay, I'll come back and take you home.
Home? Oh.
Yeah, I know how you must feel about that, but it's all right. The bad memories will leave in time.
Not if your mother has anything to do with it. She'll probably be at the gates telling me it was my fault.
Judith, why drag my mother into this?
I don't have to. She'll do it all by herself.
Even if she does have something to say, it probably won't be too far from the truth. And what I mean by that is, if we had allowed the law to proceed as it would have, Jamie would have been behind bars, and you and Herb wouldn't have gotten almost frozen to death.
You know something, Charles? If I had it to do all over again, I would have done the same. Come in.
Oh, excuse me. Judith, are you feeling up for a visitor?
Okay, let's say you're right. Tina and I do deserve each other. All the more reason for you and me to come to terms.
Oh, you seem to have it backwards, Max. Let's say that I do give you some sort of loan. You have no collateral.
The ranch in Argentina. Maria, it's a steal.
No, I'm not interested in any more ranches, but if you could get Tina out of town.
You want me to win Tina over before you make the loan?
Uh-huh.
Give it my best shot.
Good. But Max, don't tell Tina that we've talked about this. I wouldn't want her knowing that she was part of some deal.
Now, don't worry, I'll be the soul of discretion. Got too much to lose. Thanks, Maria.
Well, I haven't done anything yet.
Are you kidding? You gave me the best incentive ever. Win the most beautiful woman in the world. I win my ranch, too. You have that check ready. I'll be by to pick it up before you know it.
Good luck. A little incentive never hurt anybody. You're next, Clint.
I didn't mean to drive Charles out of the room.
You didn't. He was happy to leave.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Don't be. And any questions you might feel you want to ask, don't avoid them about last night, because anything you heard is probably true.
Do you mean that Jamie really...
Yes. And now, he seems to have left the country.
Oh, dear. I don't know what to say.
The etiquette books aren't very helpful in dealing with matricide. If I seem to be making light of it, it's because I have to. Otherwise, if I let it sink in, I
think I'm going to come back another
No,
time.
really, Vicky, I really need to talk about something else.
No, I think you need to rest, and I think we'll talk in the morning.
Please.
All right. It's just that at some point I wanted to talk to you about the hearing.
Well, that's better, because, you see, they're letting me out this afternoon, and I'll be ready for the hearing tomorrow.
Well, that's what I want to talk about.
Well, I know you must be nervous about the custody battle, but it's only natural to know whether I'll feel up to it. But I can assure you that
No, you see, it's not that at all. Judith, I don't really think I want to do battle. I think that, in fact, Clint and I may just cancel the whole hearing altogether.
Wait a minute. I know I've been out of it, but did I miss something?
Oh, no. No, there's no way you could possibly have known. We've just decided to at least discuss a reconciliation, that's all. I mean, I realize the hearing is less than 24 hours away, and I will certainly let you know before then whether to cancel or to continue. I just thought I would let you know that I have doubts, and I have to decide in my own mind.
Well, I know it's quite a decision, but I don't want to be the one to rush you into it.
I was hoping you'd understand.
Oh, I do, more than you know. Good marriage is rare these days, and I understand yours is one of the best.
That's what I hear, too.
Well, whatever you decide, I wish you a lot of luck.
Thank you. Same to you. You take care of yourself, and I will call you, a little later today.
Thank you for coming.
Okay. Bye.
Dad, what if you never find out why you were offered your old job back in El Paso?
I mean, will I still take the job, sweetheart? I don't know, one way or the other. I really don't. Hello. Oh, hi, Mike. I was just talking about you. Well, about the job, anyway. Why is it you decided to pull up stakes? Fired? Well, the way I heard, you resigned. Look, oh, Mike, I don't know anything about that. Look, Mike, come on. I wouldn't do a thing like that to you. You know that. Mike, hello. Mike, hello. Owens didn't resign. He was fired for no reason last night.
Oh, no.
That's convenient, isn't it? Huh? Just like that. He gets the axe, and then the job is there for me to take. Just like that. Well, I tell you, somebody wants me out of this town. Not hard to guess who, either, is it?
Maria, what a pleasant surprise.
Well, you're in a cheerful mood this morning.
You mean it shows? Well, I guess it's not every day that a fellow finds something that he thought he'd lost forever.
What?
My marriage.
I'm sorry, I'm not following you.
Well, Maria, it all started with these.
With your family albums?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
You see, with Kevin back, Vicky wanted to try and get to know the boys better, and that meant getting to know us better. And she saw that our marriage wasn't just one fight after another. There were some good times, too.
Well, I think it's wonderful that she's showing interest in the children, but how does that change her plans for divorce?
Oh, well, you can ask her that yourself when she comes back. She went over to the attorney to cancel the custody hearing.
Oh, has she really?
Yes. Almost too good to believe, isn't it? You know, Maria, for the first time in weeks, I'm beginning to think that there is a future for this family and for the whole family. I mean, not just Vicky and me, but I mean for the whole... What's the matter? I mean, I thought you'd be happy for me.
Well, I would be if it weren't for...
If it weren't for what? What is it?
I think before I say anything, you better read this, Clint.
This looks like Vicky's handwriting.
It is.
I'm sorry, but I didn't order anything.
A special lunch for 2, please. Excuse, please.
Hey, look, I just said I didn't order anything. Max.
That's right. And for guessing my real name, you win the prize. Lunch with Max. Let's see, what do we got here? We've got, mooshu pork. We got beef with orange. Prawns with black bean sauce.
Yeah, I thought you were going to leave town today.
Yeah, what can I say? You know how to use these?
Yes, I do, but what changed your mind?
I got this craving for Chinese food, and since you don't dare go out with me, I thought we'd have a little luncheon in private.
You know what you are?
Incurably romantic.
Insane.
That too. Where do you keep the plates?
Oh, well, please. Make yourself at home, why don't you?
Don't mind if I do.
Yeah. You know, you still haven't told me what changed your mind. Did you find a gold mine or something?
Want to guess? I just happened to stumble on a gold mine.
In Landview? Where?
Right here.
Yeah, I take it back. You're not just insane. You are impossible.
Now, there you're wrong. I am very possible. And I have got a strong hunch that you and I are going to be very good friends very soon.
Oh, really?
Oh, admit it. You can't help but have a great time in my presence.
You're right, I do.
Mm-hmm.
And you make me laugh, but I still don't think I should be seen with you anywhere, including in the privacy of my own home.
I'll tell you what, married lady. We'll start with the fortune cookies, and we will let them tell us what we will do.
I think there's too much writing on this. It's much too important. I think I'll pick my own fortune cookie. Thank you.
Whatever you say. But if it says drop everything and run off with a handsome stranger, don't blame me. Tina? But Tina, what's wrong?
Max.
I don't believe this. First time I saw you, you're dissolved in tears, and then I put on the charm, make it all better. Now you're in tears again.
Don't you have any real feelings?
Yeah. Hunger. Come on, Tina. It's only a fortune cookie. How bad can it be? Born to love is born to lose. That's it.
That is the story of my whole miserable little life.
You think that's bad? Listen to this. Man with head in clouds is always 2 feet short. Okay, I don't like it either. Tell you what. We'll take another fortune. Okay, I'll take one for you. After a long nightmare, you have just met the man of your dreams. Wake up, smile, hold him tight. Ooh, that's good.
You're making that up.
No way! These philosophers that work in the back of the Chinese restaurant stuffing these fortune cookies, they're very wise. They are. And they must have known you were having lunch with me today.
Yeah, well then how did they know that it was going to be in my cookie and not in yours?
Well, that's what makes them so wise.
Let me see it.
See it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's my fortune, right? So I have a right to read it, so put it right there.
You're right. You should. You should. But these are very special fortune cookies. Not only do you eat the cookie part, you eat the message, too.
Ah, you remembered.
How could I forget after last night? Oh, I must be such a mess.
Well, you're warm and alive. You also look very beautiful.
Well, I don't know about the last part. It's certainly nice to be alive and see you sitting there.
Yeah. If it feels so good, why are you crying? Judith, after last night, don't you think you can trust me?
Yes.
You know, when two people face death together, they can't ever go back to being just acquaintances.
They can't? You know that?
No, they form an unspoken alliance. Friends forever, friends for life.
You are a good friend, Herb.
Shall I come up with a couple of cliches? Time heals all wounds. This too shall pass.
Even those cliches don't work when you say them.
I won't let you blame yourself for anything that's happened.
Always looking for the bright side, aren't you?
Well, if I didn't, we'd be a couple of ice cubes right now.
Okay. I have some good news. There might be one marriage worth salvaging. Vicky and Clint.
Maria, I'm not going to read somebody else's mail. Vicky wrote this to Tom.
Clint, you owe it to yourself to read it.
What I owe is a sense of decency to my wife. Now, I don't know how you came to be in possession of this, but I hope you didn't somehow intercept it.
Oh, it was purely accidental. But since it is in your hands, I don't think you should refuse reading it.
You don't? Well, that's exactly what I'm doing, Maria. Now take it back where you found it.
No, you don't understand. You see, I was at the carriage house yesterday.
I don't want to hear that. I don't want to
She
hear...
went upstairs, and I saw Vicky slip this note under the door.
And so you just accidentally bent down and picked up a note that was written to Tom.
No, that was not an accident. When I saw Tom's name on it, I deliberately picked it up.
Well, you were wrong to do it, Maria. You were dead wrong.
Look, in one sense, yes, but in another sense, I was just simply being a friend. Look, I saw it lying there, and I thought it might have been some kind of a love letter.
And you thought I'd want to see such a thing?
I thought that it is something that you would need in your custody battle so that you could have your children. Look, I know that it was wrong, but my only motive was to protect you. Give me this letter, and I'll take it back.
Well, wait, I'm sorry. I know you were just trying to help. I guess I'm not much for infighting.
Well, maybe you ought to learn. Vicky has. Dearest Tom.
Now, stop!
I think that if you're going to consider going back to Vicky, you ought to listen to this. This only makes me feel you are the warmest, most selfless, honorable man I have ever known, other than my Joe. It does seem impossible to pull this marriage together for any reason other than our children.
Other than our children. But now I care too much for you to imagine ever loving him again, even if my memory should come back.
So,
Oh, Murray, you scared me. Listen, Cassie's finding a parking space right now. She'll be here any minute with my things. Are you all set?
Yeah, but I don't do anything till I get paid.
How does a pair of diamond earrings strike you?
Great. Hand them over.
Cassie's wearing them. She hasn't taken them off since she's gotten home from Europe.
Oh, I get it. I mugged a little lady for you, then I copped the studs.
Right.
She trusts you?
Oh, why shouldn't she? She's helping me move my things into the Waterside Inn, and I just came ahead to make sure my room's ready. See?
Then she gets the surprise of her life.
Murray, I don't want her hurt.
You're a repeat customer, right? That's because you know Murray is a pro.
Okay, she's pulling in right over there. Go on and hide. Cassie? Cassie?
Mary Lynn, maybe you better go upstairs. This is not going to be a pleasant phone call.
Daddy, I'm not going anywhere. Not till you tell me who you're calling.
Sweetheart, I'm going to call people who are in the habit of throwing their weight around without having any concern whatsoever for the harm they may do other people. People like Clint Buchanan or Asa Buchanan. This time they're not going to get away with it.
Please reconsider your decision. You've become the most important person in my life, and I really can't bear the thought of losing your love, Vicky.
You must hate me for making you read that letter. But you had to see it for yourself. I mean, you do understand that, don't you? Clint, that letter is painfully clear. Trying to make your marriage work is a terrible mistake.
Maria, that's enough.
No, somebody has to say it. Vicky doesn't love you, Clint. She loves Tom.
Kathy, you were nice enough to drive me over here. The least I can do is carry my own stuff.
Okay, you take this, and I'll get the rest of your stuff out of the car.
Okay, I'll be right back to help.
All right.
Diane, is there something wrong?
Yeah. I owe you an apology. When I first came back to town, I thought that you were too possessive of my mother.
Oh, Kathy, you don't have to say anything.
Yes, I do. I was wrong. You do care about her, but in a very special way, and you moving in here proves that. And I want you to know I appreciate it. Well, it's no secret how I feel about your mom, and I just hope that you and I can be friends, too. That sounds great. And I think we should start right now. I'll tell you what. I'll order us up a room service lunch, and you can tell me all about your adventures in Europe, and I can fill you in on the inside scoop on your mom's heroism at prison.
All right, sounds good. Okay, great. I'll be right back.
Oh, wait.
Give me a purse. Don't make me ask twice.
All right. Here. Now let me go.
Yeah, just as soon as you give me the earrings.
No way.
I know diamonds are a girl's best friend, but they aren't worth your life.
Listen, my father gave these me, and I'm not giving them to a slime like you.
You don't have any choice. I want those earrings, and I want them now.
Daddy, don't do this. I can't let you get into another fight with Clint or Asa.
And I can't let them hurt another person's career just to get me out of town and away from Vicky.
But you said yourself, a good investigative reporter always waits until he has the facts before taking action.
Honey, Mike Owens was doing a wonderful job on the paper in El Paso. Then all of a sudden he was fired to make room for me to get his job. That's all I need to know.
But a fight, it won't solve anything.
Ducking this issue won't solve anything either.
Where are you going?
I'm going to the Landview Banner office.
But Teddy, you said that Asa Buchanan has power in all sorts of places. What if he tries to ruin your career?
Sweetheart, Asa uses intimidation and fear to get what he wants. And that does not work on me. Look, you just stay here. I'll be back just as soon as I get things sorted out, once and for all, okay?
Your marriage, Vicky is only going to hate you because you're going to be taking away the man that she really loves. And what kind of a home would this be for the children? A home filled with regret and resentment and hatred? Is that for anyone's best interest?
What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? Give up? Just give up and let my marriage fall apart in my hands?
It already has. I'm sorry, but it's in 1,000 little pieces, and you can't put it back together again.
I don't believe that. I don't believe it.
Oh, Clint. Look, the best thing that you can do for everybody concerned is to let Vicky have the kind of a life that she wants. And then you can go on with your life.
My life is with Vicky and the children.
It was, once. Well, who knows? Maybe someday you'll find somebody else, a woman who can give you the kind of love that you deserve. A woman who could be a real mother to those wonderful children. A woman... I'm sorry. It's not my place to predict the future.
That's right, it isn't.
Well, being a friend and caring about you as much as I do, I can't let you live in the past.
I'm not living in the past. And I'm not going to give in to anger and hatred. I'm simply going to pretend like this letter didn't exist.
Now, Bucky, wait. Now, don't do something that you might regret. Look, if things don't work out the way you want them to, this letter could be very, very valuable. It can't hurt to hold on to it a little bit longer, just to be on the safe side, huh?
No, I suppose not. But I know I'm not going to have to use this letter against Vicky.
I hope not, Clint. Anyway, just think about what I've said. Bucky, please. Don't try to hold on to something that just isn't there.
Don't play games with me, boy. I happen to know Pamela Buchanan hired you. Pick her up at the airport tomorrow and drive her to the Vernon Inn.
I'm sorry, but I'm not supposed to discuss these things.
Oh, is Landau Lemos some kind of undercover outfit and your lips are buttoned tight?
I'm just trying to hang on to my job, Mr. Buchanan. If that'll be all, sir?
No, that is not all, sir. You will pick up Mrs. Buchanan and drive her to my house, not the Vernon Inn.
But, sir, I'm paid to follow orders.
I'm well aware of that. But would $200 change the orders?
But, Mr. Buchanan, if the lady tells me to take her...
You take the lady to my house, and there'll be 200 more just like this tomorrow.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but, can I talk to you for a minute?
Delilah, come in. We're finished with our discussion, son?
Yes, sir. I mean, no, sir. I'm sorry, sir. Thanks. I'll see you tomorrow.
Well, what brings you to the Banner?
Well, I was over in the ad department. I'm taking out a full page of my spring collection.
That's sweet of you. Can I get you some coffee?
No. Asa, would you mind telling me what you were trying to bribe that driver to do?
Oh, I was just trying to make Pam's trip from the airport a little comfy.
They have a word for what you're planning.
Yes, ma'am. It's called, courtesy.
No, it's called kidnapping. Do you want Pam to hate you even more than she does already?
Well, if she hates me so much now, what do I got to lose?
What have you got to gain? Asa, you're divorced now. You both are very well off. Why do you want to prolong the agony?
Wasn't always agony.
You're not really thinking that you can win her back.
Well, I've always been kind of romantic. I mean, you ought to know that.
Asa, forget it. You've had chance after chance with her, and you've blown every single one. And you're never going to get her back.
Never say never, Delilah. Now, you were there when I bought that little anniversary gift. Now, just imagine this. Pam gets off the plane, chauffeured to the house, and before she has a chance to utter a sound, she feasts her eyes on this.
You think a piece of jewelry is going to change how she feels about you?
Well, not all by itself. But I'm going to remind her how I risked my life to save hers and Pete O'Neill's. And she's going to melt like molten lava.
Asa, just when I think that you are impossible, you get even worse.
What is wrong with trying to impress the woman I love?
You don't love Pam.
Don't you tell me how or I don't feel.
You know, you are the world's worst loser. Now, you only want her back because she left you. That's not love. Asa, that's just wanting something that you can't have.
Oh, come on.
Did your father say where he was going?
I'd rather not say.
Are you upset about something? I hope it's not the letter.
Letter?
Well, I wrote your father a letter yesterday. I slipped it under the door. He did get it, didn't he?
He didn't say anything about a letter.
Oh. Is something wrong?
Look, I'll tell Dad to call you as soon as he gets in.
Mary Lynn, why are you so unwilling to tell me where your father has gone?
There's nothing you can do about it. I tried everything, but he's determined to have it out with them.
With whom?
Clint and Asa.
Why? What have they done?
It's what Dad thinks they've done. He tried to get his old job back in El Paso.
Yes, I know. That's why I'm here. I was hoping to try and talk him out of it.
Well, first the job wasn't available. Then it was. Then he found out that the man who had the job, an old friend, had been fired.
And he thinks...
He's positive that Clint and Asa pulled some strings to have Mr. Owens fired so Dad would move back to El Paso.
Oh, no.
I tried to stop him, but he's headed for the Banner right now. He's really going to chew them out about it.
Yeah, well, he's not the only one.
Vicky?
Help! Somebody help me! What are you doing?
something too, huh?
Ow! Diane! No! Ow!
Okay, no more fun and games.
No!
I want those earrings.
All right, fine. There, are you happy now? Now let go of me.
Yeah, there's your reward.
Oh, Cassie, are you okay? Oh, I'm never going to sing Carmen again, but other than that...
Hey, are you two okay?
Yeah, some creep just took off with my purse and my jewelry.
Ma'am, go back to the lodge and call the police. I'm gonna go after the guy.
Wait a second, he's dangerous! Oh, this used to be such a nice, safe place. You girls wait right there. Ma'am, we really don't need the police.
Diane, the guy could have killed us. We have to report this to the police.
Oh, I guess you're right.
Are you all right? He really smacked her in the head. He pegged my wallet.
Yeah.
That was the bravest thing I've ever seen.
You mean stupid?
Diane, you saved my life.
Well, everything happened so fast, I just reacted without even thinking.
Listen, I'm glad you did. I'm never going to forget that. Never.
The guy was to jump in his car and take it off.
Well, it's just as well. I mean, he had a knife and you could have been hurt.
I was in the lodge. I was here trying to find a place to stay in a lodge when I heard a scream. I came out just in time to see Cassie.
Rick?
Cassie.
Am I glad to see you?
Dorian, I am fine. Really?
Don't listen to her, Mom. She got a really bad blow to the back of her head.
Look, it happened when I fell. All I need is a little bit of rest and...
Oh, I better get her down.
Look, you guys, I don't really want to cause any trouble here.
You're not causing any trouble at all.
It's the back of my head. I hit it on the ground pretty hard.
Oh, does somebody want to tell me what happened?
Well, I was helping Diane move her things into the water siding when this man jumped out and attacked me. Diane came to my rescue, and he hit her.
You could have been killed.
I know, pretty stupid, huh?
Pretty incredible. She saved my life.
I just wish that I could have stopped him. He made off with your beautiful diamond earrings.
Listen, you matter. They don't.
Yeah, but that awful waterside inn.
Oh, Dorian, it's not so bad. Besides, it's the only place in town I can afford.
Well, we'll see about that. I want to call you a doctor.
No, don't. I mean, well, now that I'm in a safe place, I'll be okay.
Mom, I tried to get her to go to the emergency room. The police tried to get her to go. She refuses.
Huh?
Yeah, they're out looking for the guy, but it doesn't look like there's going to be much hope finding him.
I don't know why everyone is making such a big deal out of this. Cassie and I are both alive, and that's what counts.
Yeah, well, still, Diane, I should think you'd want to go to a doctor and get it looked at least. You could have a concussion, internal injuries.
Dorian has practiced medicine before, and I'm sure if she thinks I need further treatment, she'll know. I trust her completely.
Thank you for the compliment, dear, but I agree with John. I'd much rather that you saw a practicing doctor. By the way, I don't think I caught your name.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mom. Rick Gardner, this is my mom, Dorian Lord, and her friend, John Russell.
It's nice to meet you both.
How do you do?
Rick and I met a couple months ago in Austria.
Actually, on a ski slope in Austria. Cassie nearly ran me down.
Oh, wait a minute, mister. You nearly flattened me, if you remember. And now he shows up again in Landview.
Quite a coincidence.
Not really. I've been working as a ski instructor up at Mount Lantano. That is until I lost my job.
Rick is the one that found Kevin Buchanan.
So you make it a habit to go around rescuing people. I'll have to thank you appropriately once I talk our patient here into getting suitable medical treatment.
Dorian, I am fine. Really?
Maybe. Come on, Cassie. Let's get her in the guest room.
Come on, Diane.
Get
No
a closer
argument.
look at this. Yep.
Oh, you guys.
So, Rick, you're an out-of-work ski instructor, huh?
That's right.
It's a small world, isn't it? I mean, 2,000 miles away in Austria, and you run into Cassie, now here you are back in the same Pennsylvania town.
I'm sorry, but I didn't get your line of work.
I'm a private investigator.
Oh, well, that explains it.
Well, I don't believe in coincidences, if that's what you mean.
Mr. Russell, I could tell you a story, but something tells me you would never buy it.
You know, something tells me you might be right.
I may regret this, but I'm going to tell you the truth.
Shoot.
When I met Cassie in Austria, I not only fell on the slopes, but I fell for her hard.
Well, I can't blame you, Rick. I mean, Cassie's a very lovely woman.
I wanted to get to know her better, but when I heard when she went back to the States...
Do you mind if I finish the story for you? Let me guess. You heard that the Lontano Lodge was hiring ski instructors for the winter season, and so you decided...